Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Nine Vibes. So recently I posted a question that basically says, what is the opposite of faith? What is the opposite of faith? And what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of do a video to show this because this is a very complex, a very in-depth answer. And I want to make sure that I kind of make it as clear as I can. All right. This is something that rabbis have been teaching. If you have read the Kybalion, the answer is in there. If you have read the Egyptian Book of Dead, the answer is in there. If you have read the Bible, the answer is in there. If you have studied the Aurora Borealis math, the answer is in there. So the answer is all around you, but we don't actually pay attention to it because of the fact that each one of these books also has the opposite of that answer. Okay, so in other words, when you are looking into the Bible, it'll talk about faith as things that are unseen. But then later on in the Bible, it tells you that you need acts or works of action to basically show that you have faith. Now, that's the opposite of each other. If it is unseen, why do I need action? Okay, so I'm going to answer this really quick. The answer is the opposite of faith is actually movement. Right? The opposite of faith is movement. And the reason that the opposite of faith is movement is because when you have faith, you do not have to move. You do not have to take steps. You do not have to go in any direction. You can stand exactly as you are, right? There's a scripture that talks about the fact that you can stand in the storm, not to move in the storm and allow the storm to be all around you. But as long as you have faith, everything will be okay. It also talks about the fact that you can have faith the size of a mustard seed. In other words, it does not matter the size of your faith, because size is only defined by measurement, and measurement is defined by movement. It does not matter. You do not have to move in any way, shape, or form, and that will be the reflection that you actually have faith. And the reason this has been misconstrued and discussed in different ways is because when we look at the worst acts of the world, we perceive that these people have faith. When people are going into situations to harm people in the name of God, they believe that they have the highest level of faith. But in all reality, if you think about it at a deeper level, if you truly believe in a God that has your afterlife designed, that has your life designed, that is looking out for you, that is guiding you to even do these actions, then it's pretty big. And so it's a little bit naive on our side to believe that something that big needs your individual movement to get that outcome. Anytime that you move and claim that you have faith, you actually have the opposite of faith. Any movement that you do is the opposite of having faith. And that's why it says, know thyself, right? You can take it from the Matrix. Know thyself. It does not require anything except for knowing. In the Egyptian Book of Dead, it says that you are only limited by what you think limits you. It requires nothing but changing the way you think of things. All right. And even the Aurora Borealis math, which is A plus B, all right, B plus C and C plus A is going to show you the exact same message. Let's take the number 214. 2 plus 1, A plus B, 2. I'll go ahead and write this real quick so you can see. All right, 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. 3 plus 4 is going to be 5. 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. A has officially changed. Nothing moved. It just changed. And the same exact thing is going to happen here. 3 plus 5 is going to be 8. 5 plus 6 is going to be 11, which is going to be 2. And 3 plus 6 is going to be 9. A has changed. Technically, all of them have changed, but I really want you to focus on this column. It's the same exact message. It's the understanding that you do not have to move for things to change. And when you understand that message, you have the ultimate faith. You have the understanding that the wheel exists, right? You can even take the Fibonacci. We'll take the Fibonacci 60 that goes all the way around, the 60 digits I've been teaching you guys, okay? The wheel is going to be moving at all times, but you're the center of it. You do not have to move. You have to observe. You have to observe what you want in this life, where you are in your life. All right, Sanguru says that there is a difference between enlightenment and a journey, and that to reach enlightenment, you don't actually go on a journey. You see, because journey takes steps. You take a step forward, you take a step out. That is a journey. That is a, I'm trying to think of a destination. You're trying to get to somewhere, okay? And so you take physical steps out. Enlightenment is just knowing. You don't have to move at all. That's what makes meditation so powerful. Meditation is the place that you can step into to reach enlightenment. It is not the path that you have to take to get to enlightenment. All right. So the opposite of faith is just going to be movement. And anything that you see in the world that scares you, that they say that they did it in faith, any wars that you have seen where they say that they have done it in God's name, understand one thing and one very clear understanding, that anything that is done in harm to another is never done in faith. It's done in the lack of faith. It requires movement, and therefore there is no faith. Okay. And those of you that are parents, you should understand this. You do not have to do anything in any way, shape, or form to love your children. Those of you in relationships that are thriving, that are doing great, you do not have to do anything except for wake up and love your partner. But when your relationship gets rocky, when your relationship with your kid gets rocky, what do? You start putting all these steps in between that understanding. You start checking things, you start worrying about things, you start doubting. Those are not the opposite of faith. Those are just movements. All of those words that people talked about are actually a container for movement. When you move, you do not have faith. So know thyself. Stand still in the storm. Know that everything is going to be okay. And then you will be guided. Guided is different than movement. Guided is where you are brought to a place of understanding. And through that understanding, now you can have movement. Right? You're not moving because you're trying to get to a destination. You're moving because you reach that destination. Those are two completely different things. All right. So the understanding is, what is the opposite of faith? The opposite of faith is going to be movement. All right. If you have to move, you do not have faith. So when you see that in the world, do not confuse that with faith. Faith is a very, very powerful energy. It is an extremely powerful magic that we have in this world. And people that think that they have to actually reach it, that they have to do a sigil or they have to take a class or they have to do anything to actually reach their faith is missing the whole entire point. It is doing nothing that allows you to have faith and trusting and knowing that whatever it is that you believe in is going to handle it. It created this universe. And I'm not judging anything. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it the source, you can call it the oracle. It truly doesn't matter to me. The only thing that matters to me is whether or not you're using the power that comes with defining God. You can call it awareness, you can call it intelligence. It does not matter. It's whether or not you're actually using it. Okay, so when you see in the world that people are saying that they're doing something in the name of God, in the name of their God, in the name of faith, look at the action. Because if action is required, faith cannot be seen. Get your nav vibes aligned.